After years of war, Ukraine stands on the edge of a new era. Streets once filled with life now lie in ruins, echoing both the pain of the past and the uncertainty of the future. Power, economy, and culture are all poised for transformation. But the question remains, what will the new Ukraine look like? Today, we step behind the veil of the future to explore the challenges and opportunities that await this nation. Will its people find a way to rebuild not only cities, but also trust and stability? And most importantly, can Ukraine rise from the ashes to create a new world on the ruins of the old?
The war has left deep scars on the country's infrastructure and population. Cities like Mariupol, Kharkiv, and Kyiv bear silent witness to years of destruction. Yet even in the rubble, signs of resilience emerge. People rebuilding homes, businesses reopening, and communities finding solidarity. International aid and investment are slowly paving the way for recovery. But rebuilding is not just physical. The social fabric, trust, and governance must also be restored. How Ukraine navigates this path will define its future for generations.
Economically, Ukraine faces immense challenges. Industries destroyed, trade disrupted, and inflation soaring. These are just the beginning. Yet opportunities exist in technology, agriculture, and renewable energy. A younger generation, educated and motivated, may drive innovation in ways the world hasn't yet imagined. The international community watches closely, offering both loans and investments. Ukraine's economic choices now will either trap it in stagnation or propel it to a new era of growth.
The cultural identity of Ukraine is also under transformation. War has strengthened national pride, but exposed divisions and uncertainties. Artists, musicians, and writers play a crucial role in documenting trauma and inspiring hope. New narratives are emerging, combining resilience with reflection on past mistakes. Museums and cultural institutions work to preserve heritage while imagining a modern identity. How Ukraine defines itself culturally will impact its cohesion and global image.
Demographically, Ukraine faces a shrinking population due to casualties and migration. Millions have fled abroad, seeking safety and stability. Some may return, bringing new skills, perspectives, and global connections. Others might choose to build lives elsewhere, reshaping communities back home. Immigration and population shifts will create both challenges and opportunities. The demographic landscape will determine the nation's workforce, politics, and social dynamics.
Education and youth development are key to Ukraine's recovery. Schools and universities must adapt to new realities, blending traditional methods with technology. Many young people have experienced trauma and disruption, requiring support systems. Innovative programs aim to train the next generation in digital skills, leadership, and entrepreneurship. The youth will be the backbone of the country's future. Ukraine's ability to invest in its young people may determine whether it thrives or merely survives.
Politically, Ukraine faces a delicate balancing act. Strengthening governance, rooting out corruption, and integrating international standards are urgent tasks. Public trust must be rebuilt, especially after years of conflict and instability. Political reforms are being debated while the global community watches every move. The path chosen now will shape Ukraine's sovereignty and global alliances. The stakes are high, but potential rewards for success are enormous. Security remains a central concern. Even after the war, threats of renewed conflict linger. Ukraine must modernize its military while ensuring civilian safety. Alliances and partnerships with neighboring countries and global powers will be critical. Cybersecurity and intelligence infrastructure are now as important as traditional forces. The nation must balance defense readiness with economic and social rebuilding.
Energy independence is both a challenge and an opportunity. Ukraine relies heavily on imports and faces threats to infrastructure. Renewable energy, solar farms, and wind projects could redefine energy security. Innovation in this sector could make Ukraine a regional energy leader. Balancing immediate needs with long-term sustainability is key. Energy decisions will shape both economy and international relations.
Healthcare systems are strained but evolving. Hospitals damaged or destroyed must be rebuilt. Mental health support is as crucial as physical recovery. Investments in technology and training can modernize care and reach rural populations. Public health will affect productivity, morale, and overall recovery. How Ukraine addresses healthcare now will impact generations. Urban development and infrastructure face monumental tasks. Roads, bridges, and housing need reconstruction. Cities are being redesigned with resilience in mind, considering climate change and future conflicts. Public transportation, energy grids, and communication networks are priorities. Smart planning could transform devastated areas into thriving hubs. The next decade will be crucial for urban renewal. Rural areas, often overlooked, are essential to Ukraine's revival. Agriculture must recover to feed the nation and generate exports. Technology, modern equipment, and sustainable practices are being introduced. Communities seek to rebuild not just farms, but social life and local governance. Rural recovery is tied directly to national stability. The countryside may hold the key to economic and cultural resurgence. International relations will define Ukraine's position in the world. Partnerships, aid, and diplomacy shape both security and economic growth. Lessons from the war will influence foreign policy for decades. Ukraine's voice in global forums will carry weight if it rebuilds effectively. Allies and neighbors will watch every reform and development. Strategic decisions now will determine whether Ukraine becomes isolated or integrated. Technology and innovation could be the driving force of Ukraine's future. Startups, IT hubs, and scientific research centers are emerging, even in difficult conditions. Digital infrastructure, cybersecurity, and AI development are priorities. Innovation can bridge the gap between destruction and progress. Talent and creativity will be crucial for global competitiveness. Ukraine's technological leap may surprise the world. Social cohesion will be tested in the coming years. War leaves psychological scars, mistrust, and divisions. Civic programs, community initiatives, and cultural projects aim to rebuild solidarity. Reconciliation and inclusivity are essential to prevent long-term fragmentation. The success of these efforts will influence national identity. Ukraine's ability to unite internally will determine its resilience. The environment is a silent victim of war. Pollution, deforestation, and destroyed landscapes demand attention. Green recovery projects are being introduced alongside reconstruction. Balancing industrial growth with environmental protection is a new challenge. Environmental stability will impact health, agriculture, and long-term sustainability. Ukraine's recovery cannot ignore the natural world. Finally, hope remains the most powerful force. Ukraine's people have endured immense hardships, yet resilience shines through. Rebuilding cities, communities, and national identity is daunting but possible. Every choice made today shapes the Ukraine of tomorrow. The path forward is uncertain, but the potential is immense. In the end, the question is not just what Ukraine will become, but who its people will choose to be.